When you take Warren Buffett, for example, and to be totally frank, I'm not his biggest fan, but he does a lot of capital allocation. And he reads a lot of sort of annual reports of companies and all the accounting, and it's pretty boring, really. And he's trying to figure out does Coke or Pepsi deserve more capital? I mean, it's kind of a boring job, if you ask me. But it's still a thing that's important to figure out, like which is a company deserving of more or less capital? Should that company grow or expand? Is it making products and services that are better than others or worse? And if a company is making compelling products and services, it should get more capital, and if it's not, it should get less or go out of business.
Well, there's a big difference too between someone who's making an incredible amount of money designing and engineering fantastic products versus someone who's making an incredible amount of money by investing in companies or moving money around in the stock market or doing things along those lines. It's a different thing, and to put them all in the same category seems it's very simple, and as you pointed out, it's an attack vector.
Yeah, for sure. Let me take Warren Buffett, for example.
Warren Buffett is an American billionaire investor. He is perhaps one of the most influential and famous investors of all time, and he has made most of his fortune by allocating capital or investing in companies, in stocks or shares.
And to be totally frank, I'm not his biggest fan, but
when you are frank, you speak with honesty. Here's an example.
I can't remember the last time that you invited me to your house for a cup of coffee. Even though my wife is godmother to your only child. But let's be frank, you never wanted my friendship.
And to be totally frank, I'm not his biggest fan, but
this is a nice colloquial phrase. I'm not his biggest fan is the same as I don't like him very much. So Elon is saying that he doesn't like Warren Buffett very much. He's not his biggest fan. You can also say, I'm not a big fan of someone or something. For example, I'm not a big fan of musicals. In other words, I don't like musicals very much.
And all the accounting, and it's pretty boring, really.
All right, we have the word accounting here. Notice that we have the and-T combination there. Usually, especially in American English, that T goes away, so we pronounce the N instead. So instead of accounting, we hear accounting. The first A there is a schwa sound, by the way.
And all the accounting, and it's all the accounting, and it's I mean, it's kind of a boring job, if you ask me.
This is a great colloquial way to give your opinion. First, you make your statement. Then you say, if you ask me. For example, this movie is pretty boring if you ask me. In other words, this movie is pretty boring in my opinion. Here's another example.
I understand, but what kind of best man would I be if I didn't offer for you to have it here?
Pretty shitty one, if you ask me.
It's still a thing that's important to figure out, like which is a company deserving of more or less capital.
When you are deserving of something, you deserve it. You've earned the right to have that. For example, since you got good grades, you are deserving of some ice cream. In other words, you deserve some ice cream. Notice that to be deserving of